Well, good day and welcome once again to Moments with Dr. Steve. I'm Dr. Steve Bonenberger, and this is session number 121. And today we're going to focus on the Writer's Covenant series. This is number 20 in our series. And just to give you an idea of what we're going to be talking about, we're going to be dealing with the Writer's Covenant, which is the piece I wrote many years ago on how to write because people asked me how I did it. And that forced me in a good way to sit down and start to think about how I write and what I think about. You can go to stregis.org, stregis.org for a small contribution. You can pick up a copy as we push into you as a creative, as an energizer, as a constructor, as a collaborator, as a compiler, as an organizer, as a big thinker, as one who manages minutia and does so well. We begin this discussion and deep dive into the model of how do you write a piece. And we're going to be spending some time doing that over the next few weeks. And during our Moments with Dr. Steve Writer's Covenant series, we're going to be talking about my creative model element. Every single creative must understand the concept of elements. Elements are those essential core pieces and chunks that by definition are immutable and unchangeable. And as a writer, there are some writer's elements that we talk about and present to you in the Writer's Covenant. And I'm going to begin the discussion of modeling and how to create a model for creating stories by reviewing what these elements are, because they're always present in every single, in some capacity, in every single piece that you're going to create. Scenes. A scene is a capsule, it's a standalone frame, and it contains and holds safe the context of each storyline. A scene can have characters, it can have no characters, it can be, in a faraway place, a current place, it can be inside of a cell. A scene is a capsule. It is a standalone frame, and you have to begin as you construct to think about how you're going to create scenes. Scenes are the first element that we work with. The second is construction. You have to have the capacity in a granular fashion at first to have the look and feel and understanding of how this tiny bit might fit into the larger work that you're weaving. So there's the construction element that is both micro and it is macro. And we want you to have an understanding of that. Characters. These are inanimate and animate professors that vary and carry and bring life to storylines. And there's all kinds of things we've talked about characters, and go back in our reference section and study those, and you will be better because of it. Conflict and the power of the provocateur. Conflict and the power of the provocateur. Stories live upon the lifelines that are based on internal and external conflicts. You need to learn and become proficient at creating and crafting deft and seemingly unsolvable conflicts and riddles. That's one of your primary jobs as a writer. So as a writer, the elements that you're working with are scenes and characters and construction, micro, macro, macro, micro, characters, conflict, and the power of the provocateur, healer. I am a person that believes in what I call the messianic hero. And in the Writer's Covenant, I give you some of the elements that make up and help you to construct messianic characters. My work is steeped and immersed always in the unthinkable and unreasonable and seemingly unusable messianic hero. I love this concept. I always have. In every story that I create, and at least one main heroic character that is unthinkable, unreasonable, and seemingly unusable by the current day standards. And God then resurrects that person or that character and creates the messianic hero. So scenes and construction and characters and conflict and the power of the provocateur and the messianic hero, the healer. These are elements that I always include in my work. The Writer's Covenant, composition and composition and compilation. The work that I have created. It's a timeless piece of literature, really, that many use now for reference and illumination or to get unstuck. It teaches the value of building upon these core and foundational storytelling elements that we just listed. You may want to study them and learn them and memorize them. You certainly need to become familiar with their quirks and intricacies. Formulaic versus seat of the pants. There are multiple ways to approach storytelling. There's an inspirational model, some write by divine download. There's the seat of the pants model, where some sit and write by muse and depend upon daily session-based receptive things. There's a stream of consciousness model, where some just write according to whatever shows up on that particular morning or evening or day when they're sitting down to actually do the work. All of these are perhaps useful, and all of us have used elements of them. But for me, and what I want you to do, is become what I call a formulaic writer. I have a well-developed, well-thought-through, well-defined, well-informed writing model. This model has served me well over the years and has helped me construct best-selling work. Over the next few sessions during our Writers Covenant moments, we're going to plow deep and far into Dr. Steve's writing model. For today, memorize the elements of writing that we have gone over. Listen to this many, many times. Pick up a pen and paper or your iPad or desktop and sketch out something that reflects your understanding and proper usage of the elements that we have provided thus far. Then go to stateallegis.org and pick up a copy of the Writers Covenant for a small contribution and learn the bigger, larger model of how to write wonderful stories. We are building a global cultural conversation. The conversation is based upon and leverages creativity. We want you to head over to stateallegis.org, stateallegis.org. Drop us a note. We love hearing from and working with creatives. Till next time, this is Moments with Dr. Steve. Travel far.